Hello friends, welcome to Coding Horse YouTube channel. In this video, I will explain you a program merge two arrays in big of one space complexity. So here you can see that we have these two arrays. These two arrays are sorted, but we have to merge these two arrays that after merging they will still remain sorted. So after merging these two arrays, the result will be like this. So when we print these two arrays together, then the elements will be printed in the sorted order like this. So in the program, first I will make two variables, int m equal to a dot length minus 1 and int n equal to b dot length minus 1. After that I will take a for loop for int I equal to n and I larger than equal to 0 and I minus minus. Now in this for loop I will take two variables, int j and int last equal to array of m. Then I will take one more for loop for int j equal to m and j larger than equal to 0, and here we will take one more condition and a of j is larger than b of I j minus minus. Now in this for loop I will write this statement, a of j plus 1 equal to a of j. After that I will take a if statement, if j not equal to m minus 1 or last is larger than b of I, and in this if statement I will swap some array elements, array of j plus 1 equal to b of I and b of I equal to last, and after that in the last I will print these two array elements, so we don't have to define this variable again inside this for loop. Here we have to start this for loop from m minus 1, and let's run the program. So now you can see that in the output we are getting 1 2 3 4 5 7 11. So when we are printing the array elements, they are printed in the sorted order, so it's mean that this program is working fine. Now let's see how this program is working. So we have these two arrays. In the first array we have 4 elements, in the second array we have 3 elements, and in this m variable I have stored the last index of this first array. So the last index of this first array is 3 and the last index of the second array is 2. Then I have taken this for loop for int I equal to n. So this I for loop I am taking for the array b, and this j for loop I am taking for the first array. So this I variable is starting from n, and in the n variable we have 2. I is starting from 2. After that I less than equal to 0, yes. Then we will go inside this for loop. Then here we have taken this j variable, so this is j variable. Then in this last variable what we are doing is we are storing the last element of this first array, a of m, and m is 3. So at index 3 in the first array we have element 11. So in this last variable we have element 11, and after that in this second for loop it is starting from m minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So j is starting from 2. Then j is larger than equal to 0, yes, and array of j is larger than b of I. So at index 2 in first array element is 7, and at the same index in the array b element is 4. So 7 is larger than 4, yes, this condition is true. Then a of j plus 1 equal to array of j. So j is 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3. At index 2 we have 7, so we will store this 7 in the place of 11. So after that it will become like this, 3 5 7 and 7. After that j minus minus, so now j will become 1. Now it will again check that j is larger than equal to 0, yes, and array of j is larger than b of I. So j is 1, so at index 1 in first array element is 5, and at index I which is 2 in the second array we have 4. 5 is larger than 4, yes, this condition is true. Then again we will do this. At the place of j plus 1 we will store the element which is at index j. So at index j element is 5, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So now at index 2 we are storing this element 5. So after that it will become like this, 3 5 5 and 7. After that so j will become 0. It will again check that j is larger than 0, yes, this condition is true, and a of j is larger than b of I. So at index 0 in the first array we have element 3, but in the second array at index I which is 2 element is 4. So 3 is larger than 4, no. So this statement will not execute and this for loop will break here. So you can see that using this for loop what we are doing is in the first array we are swapping the elements from left to right to make the space so that we can store the element of the array B in this first array, and we already have stored the last element of this first array in this last variable. After that, in this if statement, we will check that j not equal to m minus 1. So here you can see that j has become 0 and value of m minus 1 is 2 because m is 3, so 0 is not equal to 2. So this if statement is true. And after that, in the place of a of j plus 1, so you can see that j is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So at index 1 in the first array, we are storing the element of array B which is at index I. In this second array, this element is 4. Now we will store this element 4 at index 1 in this first array. So after that, this first array will become like this: 3, 4, 5 and 7, and B of I equal to last. And in this place of 4, we will store this element 11. So then in the second array, it will become like this: 1, 2, 11. So in this if statement, we are swapping the elements between these two arrays A and B. After that, I minus minus, so I will become 1. And then it will check here I is larger than equal to 0. Yes, true. Then this j variable will again remain as it is. So now it has no value. So you can see that I have defined this variable j outside of this for loop. The reason is, outside of this for loop, we have to check this variable j in this if statement. If I will define this variable in this for loop, then we cannot check the value of this variable j in this if statement. After that, in this last variable, we will again store the last element of the first array. So now the last element of this first array is 7. So now in this last variable, we have 7. After that, this for loop will again start and j will start from 2. So m minus 1 is 2. So j is at index 2. J is larger than equal to 0. Yes. And array of j is larger than b of I. A of j. So j is 2. So at index 2, we have 5. And b of I, so I is 1. So at index 1 in the second array, we have 2. So 5 is larger than 2. Yes, this condition is true. And then we will run this statement. So a of j plus 1 equal to a of j. So in this place of 7, we will store 5. So after that, it will become like this: 3, 4, 5 and 5. After that, j minus minus, so j will become 1. So now here we will again check that in the first array at index 1. So index 1 is 4, and in the second array at index 1, element is 2 here. So is 4 is larger than 2? Yes, this condition is still true. Then this statement will again execute, and after that this array will become like this: 3, 4, 4 and 5. After that, j minus minus, so j will become 0. So j is larger than equal to 0. Yes, true. And array of j is larger than b of I. So j is 0. So at index 0, we have 3 in the first array. And in the second array, at index 1, we still have 2. So 3 is larger than 2. Condition is true. After that, it will become like this: 3, 3, 4 and 5. So after that, j will decrement. So j will become minus 1. Then it will check here j is larger than or equal to 0. So no, j is minus 1 and it is not larger than or equal to 0. So then this for loop will break. After that, in this if statement, we will check j not equal to m minus 1. So j is minus 1 and value of m minus 1 is 2. So 2 is not equal to minus 1. So this statement is true. Then we will swap the values. So at index a of j plus 1, so j is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 will become 0. So at index 0 in the first array, we will store the element of the second array at index I. So at index I, element is 2. So 2 will get stored here at index 0 in the first array: 3, 4 and 5. And in the second array at index b of I, we will store the last element. So in the place of 2, we will store 7 because in the last variable we have 7. So in the second array, it will become like this: 1, 7 and 11. After that, I minus minus, so I will become 0. Now you can see that in the second array at index 0, we have element 1, and in the first array we have these elements 2, 3, 4 and 5. So in this last variable, we will again store the last element of this first array. Last element of this first array is 5. So now in this last element we have 5, and after that this for loop will again start from m minus 1, which is 2. So you can see that all the elements in this first array is larger than 1. So when the value of j is 2, so this first array will swap the values from left to right. So it will become like this: 2, 3, 4 and 4. after that j minus minus, so j will become 1. So now still you can see that at index 1 value is 3 and 3 is larger than 1, true, and again it will swap the values. So now it will become like this: 2, 3, 3 and 4. After that j minus minus, now j will become 0. So at index 0 in the first array we have element 2 and in the second array we have 1. So 2 is larger than 1. This condition is again true and we will swap the elements. So now it will become like this: 2, 2, 3 and 4. And after that j minus minus, so j will become minus 1. After that this for loop will break. Now in this if statement we will again check that j not equal to m minus 1. So value of j is minus 1 and value of m minus 1 is 2, so it is not equal. So this condition is true. So now we will swap the elements. So at index j plus 1, so minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. So at index 0 in the first array we will store the element of b of I. So b of I is 1. So in the second array at index 0 we have element 1 and we will store this element 1 in the first array at index 0. So now first array will become like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the second array in the place of 1 we will store the element from the last variable. In the last variable we have 5. So the second array will become like this: 5, 7 and 11. So you can see that after swapping this arrays will become like this, and after that this for loop will break and the rest of the for loops will print the elements of these two arrays. Worst case time complexity of this program will be big of m into n. Thanks for watching.